Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to all my lovely regular viewers, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So I thought for a change I'd be using not polish today for to do these nails, and the nails that I'm doing, I'm kind of seeing this shape popping up on Instagram and on Pinterest, and it's almost as if the nails don't have any kind of C curve to them. So the only way really to achieve this is by sculpting the nails out. So you saw at the beginning of the video there, I kind of squeezed the end of the nail forms together just to flatten it out so that there's no C curve. The nail forms that I'm using are from CJP. I absolutely love these nail forms, and they would be the ones that I would use the most of, especially for like salon length nails. A lot of, everyday clients, they don't have their nails as long as we would need them to, to be able to use the Glitterbels floral forms or even the CJP long hollow forms. So these butterfly forms are just perfect for an everyday salon length nail. So the shade of not polish acrylic I'm using is number 102, which is called Nude Panther, and it's one of their most popular nudes that they sell. It's perfect for doing what I'm doing, having it as my base colour to do my nail art on top. And of course I'm using my size 16 brush, which I absolutely love. So you can see just how smooth that this not polish acrylic goes on, and if you look just at the free edge of these nails, you can see just how flat they really are. There really is no C curve in these nails, and they're just super straight and super square. So that's the look that I'm going for. I have to say I really do love sculpting out with the Nude Panther. It's just such a lovely acrylic to work with. One acrylic, just while it's in my head, I hate to sculpt out with, or even hate to use as a base colour, is Cashmere Cover from Glitterbels. Oh my goodness, I hate it. I don't even think I would tell anybody that I have that colour, because it's just bringing back, it's like PTSD. It's like, this shock horror of trying to work with Cashmere Cover. It cures almost instantly, and you can't even push and pat it anywhere. It just cures as soon as you set it on the nail. But just look how easy this Nude Panther just flows. I'm able to take it more or less right down to the size that I want. I'm going right down to a size 9, which is fairly long. But yeah, the Cashmere Cover compared to this, oh, it's night and day. And as you know by watching my videos, I absolutely love Glitterbels, but I'm sure a lot of you can agree with me that even if you love a brand, there can be certain products within that brand that you just maybe not, you don't like them that much. And definitely Cashmere Cover is one of those for me. As you can see, I'm sculpting these out really flat, so I'm not going to be pinching any of these nails in, but I'm using the lines that comes on the nail forms, and they are my guidelines, so that I know that I'm going to have my lines super straight, and that they're all going to be the same length. But even though I'm doing them super flat, I'm still going to go in and build up my apex and make sure the strength and structure is there so that they won't break. As they're all sculpted out in exactly the same way, I'm going to let you watch the next couple of nails just being done, and I'll come back once I start to put the nail form onto the thumb. So onto the thumb now, and I'm taking my nail form, the little bit that you would normally stick on to reinforce around the free edge area. I'm actually going to put that towards the end of the nail form. So that's what's going to keep the bottom of my nail form nice and wide. So I'm not going to roll them into a C curve or anything like that. I'm just going to keep them really flat, and I actually pinch them together at the very end. So the free edge of the nail form is pinched right together, as you can see. And that's what's going to give me that really nice flat nail. Now that I've got the nail form in place, I'm going to go ahead and dehydrate and then prime the nails with Glitterbell's acid-free primer and dehydrator. In with the first bead of acrylic now, and I call this my contact bead when I'm sculpting out. So this is the bead that makes contact with the natural nail and also the nail form. So I did pick up quite a large bead, especially as I'm using a size 16 brush, but as you can see, this product and this brush just moves it about really easily. I'm able to bring this right down to the length that I've needed it. In with the second bead of acrylic now, and I'm placing that just at the free edge of the nail form, and I'm blending it back into the rest of that acrylic. So placing it there, that's going to make sure that my free edge is built up enough so that whenever I go to file and shape the nail, it's not going to be too thin and break on me. As you can see, I'm doing as much work with my brush as I can to make sure that I'm getting the nail shape that I want. That's going to reduce any of the filing and shaping that I'm going to do once they're fully cured. So this next bead that I'm placing in is right on what we would call the stress area, the apex. So that is the contact area between the free edge and where the nail form actually starts. So sometimes, especially when you're sculpting out, that can be a weak point. So I'm just making sure that I'm going to have that apex completely in the right place and that I've got no gaps from the natural nail and the nail form. So going in now with the cuticle bead, you can see that I've got my thumb pointed downwards, and I placed that bead just at the cuticles, and then I've patted and pushed it into place and blended it down to the rest of the acrylic. So when I'm looking at the nail here, I can see the nail form still showing through. So that means that I have put the acrylic on just a little bit too thin. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more acrylic just to make sure that the strength and the structure of the nail is there, and that whenever I remove the nail form and go to file the nail, that it will be strong enough and won't break. So now that all the acrylic is on, I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the nail forms and start my filing and shaping. As always, I always start at the sidewalls to make sure they're nice and straight, and I'm using my Glitterbell's metal board file, which is absolutely brilliant for getting super straight lines and really straight free edges. So as you can see, starting on the side walls, then I go to the lower arch and make sure they're nice and straight and coming out in line with the natural nail. Once I've done all of that, I will go over the rest of the nail, taking out any obvious lumps and bumps and making sure that the cuticle is nice and flush. as you can see, I've changed to a normal board file because I find that sometimes when you're filing around the rest of the nail, you kind of need something that's a little bit more flexible. I feel sometimes that the metal board file is just a little bit too rigid to get around the curves of the nail. So I do go on to my normal board file, and I always finish the nails off with a buffer. So that's them all filed and shaped. I'm going to give them a quick dust and a cleanse with some alcohol just to remove all of that nail dust, and then I'll get started onto the nail art. So I'm going to be doing pastel rainbows, and because the like luminous green that I have here and the luminous yellow, they weren't pastel, so I'm just going to add some white to them, and that's going to bring them up with a nice pastel-y colour. So these particular ones are from DND, and the rest of the colours are from Canny and Glitter Bells. So this rainbow design that I'm doing is very, very simple, very easy, but it is really effective. So to do this, I'm using my new striping brushes. This is the brush number 2, which is 20 millimeters. It does also come in 25 millimeters and 15 millimeters for smaller designs. So I'm going to place the yellow on all 4 of the fingers before I cure them, and then that way I'm not going to smudge any. I'm going to do the thumb separately. I just prefer to do the thumb separately. I think it's just a habit that I'm in, and then I'll work my way through the colours. So I will do each colour, cure it, and then move on to the next colour. I think by doing it this way, by curing each colour as I go along, it just means that you can see the colour, each colour as I go, because sometimes when you leave the colours too fluid and you're not curing them, they can kind of blend into one another and you can lose sight of some of the colours. So I just prefer to do it this way. So to do any of the cleanup, I'm just using my flat gel brush and a little bit of acetone, and that's just going to wipe away any imperfections before I cure them. So before I cure these, I'm just going to go back to the little finger because I just wasn't happy with the thickness of the little stripe. So I just wiped it all off and redid it. So in between each colour, I'm going to go ahead and flash cure the colours just for around 15 seconds. I will give them a full cure once the top coat has gone on, because it's a clear top coat. It will cure the colour gels fully underneath it. So in with the second colour now, and that's the green. So I'm going to place it directly under the yellow. I do want the colours touching each other so there's no gap in between. And because all the nails are going to be done exactly the same, I'm going to let you go ahead and watch the rest of the nails being done and listen to some music, and I'll be back at the end. That's all the gel polish cured now, and I've decided for this set to go in with a matte top coat. So the top coat that I love the best at the moment, because Glitterbels hasn't brought one out, is Nail Perfection Velvet Matte Top Coat. I absolutely love it. You could do this in a glossy finish. As you can see, you know, before the top coat's cured, you can see what it looks like glossy, but I absolutely love matte nails, so I've decided to keep them matte. Now that the top coat's cured and the nails are finished, I'm going to go ahead and apply some cuticle oil. So I'm using Glitterbels coconut cuticle oil. It smells absolutely lush, and this will just rehydrate the cuticles. And here is the finished set, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, you know what to do, give it a thumbs up. And for those who haven't already subscribed to my channel, you could help support my channel by hitting that subscribe button. And if you also hit the little notification bell, you'll not miss any more of my videos. And I will be back with another one, so take care. See you soon. Bye.